I think oh yeah, I'm calling him.
You ready? Cool.
Yes.
And Anthony or Quinn, are you up?
I'm up for it.
Yes.
Oh, so Quinn is interviewing me?
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah,
me.
unless you can pick between
No, I
us.
don't
That'll
mind.
be fine.
Come on down, Quinn.
Quinn rocks.
Thank you.
Come on down.
Thought you were gonna reject me.
No, I could never
Hell no.
reject you. Harley Quinn was like my favorite villain, so
She's one of the best. I don't like how they did her in a Suicide Squad. Have you seen that one?
no, I don't either. That wasn't it didn't body her authenticity, so yeah.
It wasn't
I
it.
agree.
She was cute, but
Yeah. I felt the same way about the Joker too.
yeah, Jared Leto.
Yeah, they didn't do a mm-mm.
Yeah.
It was a nice perspective, but did you see the recent Joker?
Yeah.
That I loved.
That was crazy. Yeah.
That I absolutely loved.
Yeah. It was a unique, beautiful movie for sure. I love that movie. I think right when it came out, people were dressing up in Joker masks and going to theaters, and there was a big scare like people were going to shoot up the theater because the Joker
Really?
incited a bunch of riots and stuff.
Oh gosh.
I don't think it happened. Are we,
Would you ask FK if I'm frozen here, but that doesn't mean you can just ask him verbally.
hey, FK, what should I ask?
Hello.
If this right now it's frozen, but are we still moving on all the video?
Did you hear Dolly?
Yes, all the videos are live. The wide shot
we're live.
should,
Good,
if
so,
possible,
Pay no attention to that. That monitor is lying.
So, sorry, what'd you say, FK?
Yeah, the wide shot. We got feedback from Reed that it should go back quite further because it doesn't work very well
He
with
says the wide shot
bubbles.
should go back further.
Okay.
I don't know if that's possible. It looks kind of
It is possible.
okay.
You can
What's
work
your
with
name?
that.
So my name is Marjorie Fleury.
Marjorie?
Marjorie.
Marjorie.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Cool name.
Thank you.
So I wasn't really here for that other guy's conversation, but
Zach.
Zach. Did you hear what they were talking about?
I did hear some of what he was talking about was generated around success and belief and yeah, for the most part that's what the general topic was about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have a different topic that you maybe wanted to talk about?
So my topic kind of ties into the same thing. Law of attraction is what he picked. So for me it's about the mind and just how fascinating it is within itself and how whatever it is that you feed the mind becomes your reality. Like you start to see it everywhere, whether it is a reality to anybody else.
So to you, people can have different realities?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Where's that box?
Can I get some of this hand sanitizer?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, my hands feel kind of.
So I have a question.
Okay.
From over here, you can't really see how many batteries are in this, right?
No.
If you had to guess,
Mhm.
are there an even or odd amount of batteries?
If I had to guess?
Yeah, just take a wild guess.
Oh, I guess I'll say it's an even.
Even? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say I said it was odd.
Mhm.
I'm just guessing too. And then we take it out, and you're right, it's even.
Mhm.
Would one of us be? Could both of us be right?
Well, it depends, I guess, on what you consider odd. Like, just even you saying that it's odd is such a broad statement because you could be meaning it could odd
weird.
mean. Yeah, exactly. So at that point, no.
Okay. That's a good point. Let's say like we agree on the definitions of odd and even. Like we're talking about 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. for odd, and then for even we're talking about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. all down the line. If you guessed even and I guessed odd, could we both be right?
If you guessed even and I guessed odd.
I think you guessed.
I mean,
even.
if I guessed even and you guessed odd, could we both be right?
Yeah, let's say we take them out.
Yeah.
And we count, and it's 10. There's 10 batteries in there.
Mhm.
Would you agree that you're right and I'm wrong in this situation?
Based on what I've been taught to know, which is 10 is an even number, then yes.
Okay. So I'm just trying to. I agree with you, and I think this is an instance where. Okay, so let's say that we agreed. Let's say that it comes out 10, and then I say, no, it's my reality that it's odd still.
Mm-hmm.
Does that seem valid to you or true? Like, because we have this shared reality where we both know what odd and even is.
Right.
But let's just say I see 10 and I say, nope, it's my reality that it's odd.
Yeah.
Would you have a problem with that?
Absolutely not. Because first and foremost, that problem would only affect me. And so why would I do that to myself, right? Because if I have a problem with the way you perceive something to be reality and it has nothing to do with me, it's only going to affect me.
If you have a problem with the way I see reality and it has nothing to do with you,
yeah,
the fact that you're worrying about it is only causing you a problem.
Absolutely. Well, I won't, depending on the person, but I choose to see it like, okay, you know what? I'm not here to tell anybody what reality is.
Right.
And so therefore, I'm not going to dispute why,
So you wouldn't argue with me?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think I'm on board with you. Like, I wouldn't, if someone said that, to me, it wouldn't be worth it to get into an argument, because it's like, but I guess more what I'm asking is like, even if you're not going to argue with this person who says that 10 is an odd number, would you think that they're wrong?
I wouldn't think that they're wrong. I would want to know why they think that, it's an odd number. I would want to know their perspective and how they got that. Because for me, the reason why I say that is because I understand that there's a lot of things that we grew up and we were taught and that was passed down onto us, and we really don't even know them to be true or not. It's just, this is what was passed on to us. And it's just like, you got to take it as truth. And that's just it. But then, I take it a step further and I'm just like, where did it originate from? Like, this came from somebody who said, like, here are the numbers. This is what numbers look like. And it's just like, yeah, but who are you?
Right.
Who are you that you got to set up all the rules? And
so math is crazy. It's like there is a big part of it that was conceptualized by just humans, just regular humans. But I guess, let me see. So what you said, that truth is something to you that's passed on, but you sort of question like the origins of these things. So what? This is another really broad question, but what is truth to you?
Okay, so well, I didn't say truth. I definitely said, things have been passed on to us. Beliefs have been passed on, down to us, and we are to take them as truth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I said. Whether they resonate with us or not. All right. For example, growing up, I was taught to fear spiders, right? And I was taught that spiders were bad and they were negative and creepy and all these things that,
Did you get over that?
Did I get over it? Yeah. I think they're fascinating now. Wow. Now that I've expanded my mind, and because I respect individuality and just differentness, and I see everything within myself, right? Because I'm pretty sure I'm just as weird to that spider. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay. And so instead of that, what I've done is I've allowed myself to be like, okay, first and foremost, this thing that I'm judging, where did those judgments come from? Are they my own? And then once I get there, once I realize, I was taught to fear this. I was taught to look at this a type of way. And then I go back and say, okay, so how do you really feel about it now? And I, what I love to do is I observe without evaluation, right? So I can observe a spider and I can say, hey, I see that it has this number of legs and it's spiky and it's black and it's versus saying, oh, this spider is bad and creepy and nasty. I'm not labeling it. I'm just calling it how I see it.
You're also not saying, I love this spider.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very neutral. I'm just calling it like it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, let's take two claims.
Okay.
One of them is spiders are bad and creepy. That's one maybe belief. Or maybe someone would say that that's a true fact, that spiders are creepy.
Right.
The other one is that 10 is an odd number. do you see these as both equally perspective based, or is one claim more rooted in, I guess, truth or the absence of truth? You know what I mean? Like, is one a bit more, are they both as subjective?
So what do you mean exactly, like by
Yeah, I phrased that kind of weird. So like, you started to say like your beliefs are passed on to you, and you brought up the example of a spider. But as you grew up, you realized that spiders weren't creepy.
Or at least not
you
to
could,
me.
yeah, learn to view them in a different way. Could you do the same with odd and even numbers?
Absolutely. I don't feel like there's a limit to anything because, like I said, throughout my journey, that's what this became. It became unlearning and relearning, right? Realizing that a lot of what I was taught to believe was passed down to me and it wasn't necessarily my own. And so I found myself on this journey saying, what do things mean to me? And so, it goes back to when you hear people say, hey, you don't want to argue with somebody who says the sky is purple. And if they're saying the sky is purple, you let them have that. You see what I'm saying? Like, so, just because I love, like I said, going back and figuring out like, okay, who claimed and made these rules and who were they to validate it as true? Right. And so just to allow my mind to just really be expanded and not be stuck. So yeah, I view everything like that. And like I said, there's a curiosity. I love tapping into my inner child that allows me to be curious about other people and the way they think and view things. Because like I said, my perspective is just my perspective. It's not the truth.
Okay. I think I understand what you're saying, and I want to just take that example a bit further. So like,
okay.
I would say the fact that there's like a cactus plant right here, is a truth about our shared reality. Maybe like you can see it, right?
Right.
Okay. Spiders are creepy is something that, to me, not everybody grew up believing that.
Exactly.
I met 5-year-olds who love spiders, so,
right.
for instance.
Right.
But would you say that is, they're equal as far as subjectivity goes? Like the cactus being there actually is just as sort of subjective or relative as spiders being creepy. And this is the last time I'll make an analogy. I just want to see kind of how far this idea goes.
Okay, because the analogy isn't really getting to me. I'm really not because like I said, being able to see the cactus right here, that's us observing it versus us evaluating it, right? Now, you're absolutely right. This is our shared reality because we both see that cactus. Now, our opinion of it is what separates it, right?
So I might think the cactus is good, you might think it's bad. But we could say that it's reality that the cactus is there. We can both say, okay.
Yes.
Can we say that it's reality that 2 + 2 = 4?
And that's what I mean. That's an amazing question because like I said, that's what we were taught.
Okay, so this is something we're not taught.
I mean,
to see that a cactus is here.
I mean, other than the fact that we see, like, it was given a name. You see what I'm saying? Like, it was given a name.
Okay, but the fact that we're experiencing something is we would have been experiencing this thing no matter how we're raised or what we were taught or passed down, is kind of what you're saying. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
So that's the distinction, is like 2 + 2 = 4 is still is knowledge that was passed down to us.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Like, for example, if you had 4, as we know it, 4 batteries sitting on the table, but had we never been taught that, like, anything about numbers and counting it, all we would be able to see are batteries. You see what I'm saying? All we would be able to see, what our joint reality would be, these 4 objects, right?
Okay.
And that's just it. It wouldn't even be a matter of, oh, there's 4 of these objects here. It's just, I noticed these objects are here.
So someone has a question in the chat here that I think is pretty relevant to that.
Okay.
If you have one rock and you add another rock, do you have 2 rocks? Like,
so if you press that button, it's right there.
Oh, okay, cool.
See if you upload it right there,
got it.
Because you're me and you're special.
Yeah, it's a really like simple math question.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm trying to get a sense of if there's ever a point where if numbers, if they become a concrete thing, then are they part of our shared reality? Like, okay, maybe 2 + 2 = 4 is too abstract to be considered like outside of perspective. But if we manifest those numbers into real objects, like one cactus, and then if there's another one right here, hypothetically, we'd have 2, right?
Yeah, based on what we've learned. Yeah, that's how we identify them. So 2. Yeah.
What are these other questions? One second. Should you form 100% of your ideas entirely? Trusting expert testimony. Okay. Should you form 100% of your ideas internally? I know that you were saying earlier, like you were unlearning things and figuring out what they mean to you. Do you think it's a good idea to form 100% of your ideas internally like that? Or is there a benefit to trusting expert testimony on some things that maybe you might not be qualified to make a decision on?
So man, that's really a broad question. So yeah, especially like if it's something that I'm not an expert on, yeah, absolutely. And at that point, yeah, I want somebody's expertise.
Right.
And then based on what I hear them say, yeah.
Okay. So I think I got a sense of kind of what you view truth as and stuff. If you want, could you say, I know you already said it, but what is the law of attraction to you?
So, well, the law of attraction is, it's almost like the way I see it is like being your authentic self, like being true to yourself. And then naturally, because you're being true to yourself, finding yourself in certain situations, meeting certain people, like this was a law of attraction, right? Even though it wasn't something that I focused on exactly, like I didn't say, hey, I want to go to a park and have an interview,
right?
Like, but it was just like, being that I'm a person who loves exploring perspectives and I love having conversations that are thought-provoking. I didn't know this situation was going to come, but here it is. But I attracted that because that is who I am. These are the things that I love. Those are the things that I desire. I love communicating and I love learning about people's perspectives, where their mind's at, and I love thought-provoking questions.
So you think the things that you desire and the things that you want, if you sort of keep them in mind, they'll start to happen more to you?
Absolutely. I mean, because I love it, I naturally like, and that's what I mean. It's like a law of attraction. It naturally comes my way. Like, even if I am the one to initiate it, right? It's coming my way. Like, it's not even more so just focusing. Like I said, I didn't focus on this happening today, and it's here.
Right.
Yet this is something that I love and desire, and it caught my attention when I heard about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to get more of a sense on how you think it works. Like, is it, because I think people have a few different ways on how they think law of attraction works. Like some people make like a dream board in the beginning of the year, and they want all the things on their dream board to come true throughout the year. Some people think you have to focus on something for it to happen. Some people think that if you have a positive thought, you don't have to do anything and it'll manifest in reality.
Oh no.
Somehow. So but some people think it has to have an action in order to get there.
I definitely believe that, like, for sure. So in regards to like law of attraction and how it works, my glasses keep fogging up.
That's the worst.
But I know it's so annoying. But how I see it happening is like, so for me personally, I'm led. Like I'm just led, and I don't know how to exactly describe that, right? So I'm an adventurer, and I just go where I feel is calling me. And I feel like that within itself is me doing the action. It's just like, hey, there are some things that I want. Like when I set an intention, for those of you who don't know, most of you don't on the line, but I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I came out here and I said, I want to explore California. I want to get to know some people. I just want to feel the vibe, and I want to expand my business and do all these things. And so these are my desires. But it took me getting on that plane. It took me booking that flight. It took me, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So law of attraction, this is like literally me doing my part, and then the universe, and just saying exactly like, okay, well, here you go. Like, and it just looks like so many different things. Yeah.
Someone has a question in the chat. I think
Absolutely.
it's a good one.
Okay.
If the law of attraction wasn't working, how would we notice?
If the law of attraction wasn't working, how would we notice?
Yeah.
Well, that's a great question. I love that.
Yeah.
So, oh my God. So yeah, awareness, right? When you think about awareness, a lot of times things are working in our favor, but because we're unaware of it, we don't even know it exists. And so now when we become aware of it, we're like, oh, this is what I was doing. Like, for example, prior to me knowing about law of attraction, it's not like it didn't, it wasn't a thing, but
Yeah.
or perhaps it became a thing when I knew about it. And so because now I know about it, now that's what I'm attracting.
Which one do you think it was? Like,
I think that's what it was. The second one. I think it was me becoming aware of, that there's this thing called a law of attraction, and you could attract the things that you want through your desires and and then seeing it now. Because like I said, it's the awareness.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, you got to be aware of it in order to know that it works.
Yeah.
His question was, if it wasn't working, hypothetically, not saying that's the case, but just like, if it didn't work, what would that look like?
If the law of attraction didn't work, what would it look like?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I guess it would look like just desiring, just wanting for things to transpire in your life, but never seeing it happen.
Never ever seeing it happen.
Like not, or at least, not seeing it happen.
What if it only happens sometimes?
This is a case and a half of water.
What if it happens?
How much does it have to happen in order for you to say this works? You know what I mean? Like,
well,
I'll phrase it more concretely. So, like, what if throughout the year of 2020, you had like 10 desires, like you desire to have conversations like these, make more money, have a fulfilling relationship, whatever it might be. But let's say only one of those things happened for you. Would you attribute that to the law of attraction?
I still would, because for one, I believe in timing. I believe a lot of times the things that we want them now, like instant gratifications. And sometimes the levels that we find ourselves in right now, we may not even be ready for the things we want. I found myself going through this actually through my own personal journey numerous of times where I wanted certain things. And it was like when I got it, I wasn't even ready for what it was I wanted. And so it was like, because I wasn't ready for it, I, number one, didn't even realize that I had it. And it was just like, oh, so now it makes me question, like, okay, so is it not happening, or is it sometimes happening, or are we unaware that it's happening? Because a lot of times it's mindset. If you're not aware of the things that are happening around you, you can miss it, and it would be right in your face.
Right.
So
could someone, let's say someone knows about the law of attraction from the time that they're like 5, right? But they're only aware, out of the hundreds of desires and wishes that they have, they're only aware of receiving maybe like 2 or 3, right? Throughout their whole life. Would you say that that's an example? That's more of an example of someone being unaware of their blessings than someone who's not receiving them?
Ask the question again.
Okay, it was weird. Let me see. So, like, how do you differentiate between being unaware of your blessings and the wishes being fulfilled by the universe, maybe, and just not getting them? Like, what's the difference? How do you tell?
I think the only difference is mindset. Like I said, there's been numerous times in my life where I received exactly what I wanted, but because I wasn't aware of it, or because it didn't look like what I wanted it to look like, I missed it, right? And then it wasn't until later on.
Could you give an example of that?
Absolutely. Let's say there was a particular type of guy that I wanted to date, right? And so that guy came into my life, but because that guy didn't look like or fit the description in which I wanted, but had those qualities, I couldn't even really see him, right? And then it wasn't until later on, say, in life, and I'm just like, man, this guy was a really great guy, and he displayed all the qualities that I wanted, but why is it that I wasn't able to see it at that time? But it doesn't mean that it never existed or I didn't get it. I was just unaware, but it was there. So my awareness later on down the line was has changed. It has heightened to where now, even though he's gone, I'm clearly able to see, like, man, he had the qualities that I was looking for.
So let me rephrase. So you're saying at a certain time you wanted a guy with like X amount of qualities.
Yeah.
And there was this guy who had all that, but you didn't see it?
Because he wasn't because even though there's certain qualities that I'm looking for, we still, like, for example, say I want a brand new car.
Yeah.
Right. And so I get a brand new car, but I'm unappreciative of that brand new car because in my mind, how I expected that brand new car to look like is not what it looks like. Right. So I got what I was looking for, which was the brand new car. However, it wasn't all the way in detail. It was almost like
okay, wouldn't you say that you were looking for a particular kind of car? Like, if the car isn't what you envisioned it to look like let's say you wanted a red Lamborghini, a new Lambo, and you got a Prius or something.
Exactly.
What you really wanted in your head was a red Lambo, right? So even when you get the new car, you're not quite getting exactly what you wanted.
Exactly.
So is that an example of law of attraction not working?
That's a great question.
I'm trying to figure out, like, are you supposed to get exactly what you want?
Yeah, I mean that's an amazing question. That, like, are we supposed to? I believe it's all a matter of, there's times where you actually go out and get certain things, and then there's times when things come your way. You like, for example, say with a car situation, saying that I do want a brand new car, having it in mind what it is I want, but then having it being given to me versus me going out and get it, right? Because like if I go out and get it, I'm getting exactly what I want, right? Okay. Versus something like, say somebody gifted me, like, because I've had situations like that happen where somebody was just like, hey, I got this car. I'm getting ready to move. I can't take it all the way with me. Would you like this car? And it's like, boom, here it is. You got your brand new car. Right. However, it's not what you wanted, but it's still a new car. And because it isn't what I wanted, sometimes, you could take things for granted, but it's just like, yo, you got what you wanted. You kept saying out of your words, but that it's
sort of what you wanted.
It's sort of, but it's and what I will say is throughout my journey is that what I learned is to be more in detail, to be more specific, right? And then I love what you said in regards to law of attraction. It isn't just sitting somewhere expecting something to come your way. No, you got to meet it halfway. You got to play your part as well. So
okay, couple more questions for you on that.
Okay.
One. Do you think that coincidence exists? Is there such a thing?
I don't believe in coincidence. I wouldn't even know how to describe it, honestly.
Okay. So you think everything happens for a reason, and there's sort of meaning to everything that some people might call a coincidence, like you wanting a new car, and then somehow someone just gifts you a new car, even though it's not exactly what you wanted. You wouldn't say that's a coincidence. You would say that's the universe giving me what I wanted, right?
I'm not in that way.
Okay.
So the way you're,
don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah, absolutely. Your questions are are very much so, like, that's why it's like a lot of times I find myself just thinking, because I'm just like, is that what I'm saying? That's not what I said. So now having to find a way to say what I'm saying.
My bad.
It's all good. It's all good. That's why I'm just like, wait a minute, this is not what I'm saying. But okay. I kind of just don't even know
how to answer that one.
Yeah, because
So just a couple more on that law of attraction working. How confident are you, like scale of 0 to 100? It works.
I'm pretty confident in it. Now that I'm learning a little bit more in depth what it is versus just like, repeating positive affirmations and visualization and things like that. But it's also, now that I'm realizing, it's also, what are you doing? Well, your actions, your intentions, all of these things play a role in getting what it is you want in life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know it's pedantic, but like, could you give a percentage on how confident you are that it works? Like 0 to 100?
I would say, I guess I'll give it like a 90%, like only reason why I say that is because the timing.
Like
Usually
you don't always get what you want when you want it.
when you want it, right? And sometimes there's things that I want, and then time goes by, and I forget that I even want those things, but then I get it, and it's just like so. Yeah, it makes me want to boost it up to 100%, really, because when I think about it, it's just like, yeah, there's nothing that I've ever desired that I haven't gotten. I just never get it exactly when I want it. Or in the way that I want it. But I always get what I'm asking for.
Always get what you want.
I always get what I want.
Do you think everybody always gets what they want?
Absolutely. I really do. Even if they're not even aware that they want it. Like, if that makes sense. Like, just tapping into the subconscious mind. It's kind of like, like I said, because I'm aware that there's a lot of things and thoughts and beliefs that we're giving onto us. And then there's this part of us, like the core of who we are, that wants something completely different. And so that's what I mean. So a lot of times, when people want certain things, I ask them, do you want that because that's what you were told to want, or is that who you really are? Right. And so throughout my journey, I found that there were things that I thought I wanted. And then when I got it, I realized, like, okay, this isn't necessarily what I want, and then there were times where I'm like, this isn't what I want, but this is what I need. And, or I didn't realize I wanted this. You see what I'm saying? And it came my way. And I was just like, wow, like, so yeah, I would say it 100% works. It just doesn't work in the context people expect it to.
Right.
We let go of the expectations. We can see some miraculous things happen in our lives.
Okay. It's about perspective.
Absolutely.
So got another question from chat.
Okay.
Does the universe realize we're in it?
Hey, that's a beautiful question. We are the universe. So
we are the universe. So I guess we
are the universe. And so we're awareness. Yeah. The universe is awareness. We are universe, internally, externally, like all of this. We are one, everything. So I'm pretty sure it's very much so aware, if I'm aware of it.
A couple more chat questions. If someone wanted to fly unaided, like without a plane or without, the sky, a suit or a jetpack or something, will they be able to if they wish for it hard enough?
If somebody, no, just like I said, that just goes back to what we've been talking about. You can't. Law of attraction is not wishing.
Right. Okay.
We're not wishing and praying this thing is a Lambo is gonna drop into our laps. Yeah. No, it doesn't work like that. You got to put in work as well. You got to contribute.
Could someone put in enough work to be like
to fly?
Me, yeah, without any wings or anything and fly.
Well, it's never been done before, as far as I know, without any wings or anything like that. Now, say somebody jumps off a cliff, right? Yeah. And they flap their wings, into them, in their mind, they're flying. Well, we see they're falling.
Right.
If they say they're flying. You flew off that cliff into the ground, and so but you did. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's. But I get what this question is going. It's like, yeah, will you see me flapping my wings and soaring through the sky, and like, because I believe I can do it. Like, well, personally, that's not a belief of mine, so I can't answer that. But I know people who have flew and believe they flew.
I know there are people who have taken drugs and jumped off of cliffs, like real stories of people who did this and thought, I'm going to fly right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And probably thought they were flying. Yeah, exactly. They probably flew to their death in their mind. So who am I to say that you didn't fly?
So it matters what happens in their mind.
Period.
Not in the shared reality, like the reality we have where there's a cactus right there.
Absolutely. Because like I believe belief is everything. You see what I'm saying? In regard, like what somebody believes, it's just theirs, whether we see it another way or not. Like, and that's why I can't argue with it. Like, for example, you have people who believe in crystals, and they say, these crystals have powers, and I've seen them work these powers. But guess what? It's because it's in their mind and they believe it, so it's working for them. Now I can turn around and get a crystal and be like, this don't work.
Right.
So how is this true? But it doesn't make it not true, because it's clearly working for them. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, I bought this crystal, and this crystal is for attracting love. And then a month later, I met the love of my life. They believe it was that crystal. Now, who am I to tell them that it wasn't? That's none of my business.
Right. It's none of your business, but like, could it be false?
It's not my place to say. Like,
so you wouldn't say, even in a hypothetical, like a hypothetical situation where someone has a crystal and they think that it helped them get married and get them financial success or whatever, like, you think that as long as they believe it works,
Mm-hmm.
it's true.
For them. Absolutely. For them, like I said, it's not me saying it's true for me. Like I said.
Okay, so what I have one.
Yeah.
So let's say someone has a crystal that they claim can light up a dark room or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that you and this person are in a dark room,
Mm-hmm.
and they have the crystal and they say that. Here's two different scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
One, they say it and nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, they say it and the crystal really does. It shines bright. It lights up the whole room.
Mm-hmm.
Is one any more true than the other? Like this situation where someone said it and nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
Are they just as right as the situation where someone said it and it did happen?
Well, I guess it really just depends on the two people and if they're sharing the same reality, right? And why do I say that? Because in the first situation, say it didn't happen, right? But to that person, it's like, you don't see its light in here. You don't see the light. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? I can't see anything. And they're just like, you don't see it.
Right.
So in that situation, like I said, now, because of their belief, I understand what belief can do to the human mind. What you feed your mind, you will literally see it.
Right.
And so if I don't believe it can do it, then no, right? But if I find myself in a situation where it is happening and that crystal is bringing in light in that room, then I have a shared belief with that person now. And so therefore now it becomes truth to the both of us because I see what it is they're seeing.
Okay. I thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
One last question.
Okay.
From your 100% that this works,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything that you could learn that would cut that down to like 50% or 20%? Like anything you could learn or find out? Maybe something you could experience?
That would have me believing that law of attraction doesn't work 100%, that it only works 50%. No.
Or even just 90%.
Okay. No, because like I said, it goes back to us feeling like it needs to happen at a certain time. I don't know personally, I haven't lived forever to be able to say this, but I don't know that there's somebody who has desired something in their life and just never got it. Like it just never got it. It's like I said.
But if you met that person,
if I met that
change
person,
your mind?
No, because especially if they haven't lived their full life, how do you know tomorrow it ain't gonna happen?
But I'm saying, like, if someone never got what they wanted and they died at age 20.
But then how would I know? How would I talk to them if they've died?
Oh, that's true.
I love it.
What if you have that conversation on their deathbed?
What if I have that conversation on their deathbed? You good.
Yeah,
I like you. Okay. What if they had that conversation on the deathbed, right? So give me an example. Let's do this together, right? Yes, let's act this out. You're on your deathbed and something you desired never happened in your life. So what is your desire?
I wanted $1 million.
You wanted $1 million, right? And how old are you?
26.
You're 26, right? And when did you start working?
When I was 17.
Okay, right? Let me tell you, and you wanted $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Chances are you got $1 million throughout your period from working from 17 to 26. Right? You got $1 million, however, right? Because when you think about it, $5 adds up. $1 adds up. Right. A penny adds up. So we're all millionaires. We've all had access and have touched $1 million. Now, have we held on to it enough to see it in a bunch, or did we invest it?
I'm counting my my tax forms in my head right now, and I think I'm at I don't know, maybe close to 300,000 or something.
Okay.
But that's all money I've spent.
Okay.
From my working time.
Okay.
So let's say you could somehow objectively count how much money I made throughout my whole life.
Okay.
And you could see it didn't add up to $1 million.
Okay.
I tell you, I really wanted $1 million, and then I died.
Okay. So say you said $300,000, right? And you really wanted that $1 million, right? What if I told you from $300,000 you had that $1 million? You just didn't know how to turn 300,000 into $1 million. So you had it, but you didn't know how to take 300,000.
Potentially.
You had it potentially. However, no, it's like technically you had it, but because of lack of knowledge, You see what I'm saying? Because of lack of knowledge, you didn't know that you could have took $300,000 and turned into $1 million, because $300,000 is $1 million, especially when you invested in the right places.
Right. But it's 300,000 is not $1 million unless you work on it, right?
Well, then that goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning. You can't keep saying that you want something and then you didn't put in the work. So if you on your deathbed and you didn't get $1 million, and then you're telling me you never invested a percentage of that, there you go. There's your reason why you didn't get your $1 million.
Okay.
Now, whether it's because you were just unaware or you just didn't put in that work, but you didn't do your part. So the universe provided, but you didn't do your part. You can't just ask for $1 million and then you get 300,000 and not flip it into $1 million. So that's where I'm at. That's how I feel, and that's what I'm saying. It's all a matter of perspective and how we look at it. At times we think we don't have things, and it's just like, no, maybe you had it. You just didn't realize what you had, or you weren't aware of how you could take what you have to turn it into what you need or what you want, right? And so that's what I have.
All right, Marjorie. Hey, thank you. Thanks for sitting
Amazing
down.
questions.
Yeah. Amazing answers. Thank you.
I appreciate that. And so before I get off of here, my name is Marjorie Fleury. From based in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a growth coach, and so I focus on expanding people's minds, which is something that I love. And you can find me on Instagram at Marjorie Fleury 888. So that's MarjorieFleury 888. So that's my Instagram. And I hope to meet some of you guys that are on the live, but phenomenal questions to those who asked. And this was amazing. You're amazing. Those were phenomenal questions. I could have a conversation with you all day.
Yeah.
But peace and love.
All right.
All right.